This one's deep because whew, I hate this because it's just uncomfortable. I don't like these conversations. Love is not always going to be a straight, easy road. There's going to be potholes and bumps along the way. But we stay in the car. I want to hear that rubbish. To scream at the Bible street preachers. We have to speak up. We have to stand up. Hello, what's up, people? Welcome back to another pod. I'm so happy to be back. Welcome back to Nick's War Room, and it's been a while. It's been a while, man. We just thank God for being here. Honestly, I have a lot to talk about in today's episode because this one's deep. This one's deep because, whew, yeah, I'm gonna go through it in this episode. But if you're new, please subscribe. We're close to 4K subscribers. Much appreciated if you can. Um, There wasn't an exact, big Bible study or anything today. I've got nobody on again as usual. But next week though, there'll be 2 weeks in a row we can, Lord willing, have some guests back on. It's been a while. You've probably had enough of just seeing me alone. But I wanted to talk about this last week and a half. It's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. And man, when oh my, it's I where do I don't know where to start. But we're gonna start with TikTok. We're gonna start from TikTok. We're gonna start there, and we're gonna bring it down to where we are today. So, if you guys don't know, I am also on TikTok, Nick Mabiru underscore. Go follow me on there, and it's been crazy. It's absolutely been crazy. I've been making videos after videos, bangers after bangers. You know what I mean? And as obviously I've finished reading the Quran. For those who don't know, and I've been speaking on Islam recently, just criticizing it, just asking a few questions, where I'm kind of confused about it or where it doesn't really make sense. And of course, you're gonna get attacked. You're gonna get attacked. You're gonna be pressured. They're gonna say you're a liar, out of context, all these things. Um, and that's fair enough. That makes absolutely sense. Valid. That's how they're gonna react. Um, and there was one video in my comment section where I liked a few comments. The comments were pretty inappropriate, if I don't say so myself. Um, it was obviously attacking the Prophet Muhammad, and I liked those comments because I agreed with them. But the way how it was said, it was verbally wrong, not really appropriate. Don't really want your kids seeing that comment section. So I'm obviously gonna put my hands up and apologize. I should have, deleted those comments, even though they're not wrong. I should have deleted them because they're not really family friendly comments. And I liked them. And obviously, when the creator likes them, of course, more people are going to see that comment because the creators liked it. And so everyone has seen me like these inappropriate comments. Um, and obviously, my friends reacted. My old friends have reacted. They've seen them. They've screenshotted them. They've sent me, Nick, this is not right. This is not good. Like, you're ruining all your friendships and, all this. And, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. And what I, what in that moment, I knew it was wrong. But what I didn't understand was the fact that hundreds of Muslims, right, are attacking our faith. They're disrespecting me, and yet nothing was said about them. Nothing. Nothing was said about them. They were all condemning me for like what I liked, what 2, 3 weird comments. But everyone scrolled past the Muslim comments, and no one attacked them. They got away with it. But the Christian, you know, I don't know. I just found it weird. It annoyed me. Yeah. And Fever, I was upset. I was sad how obviously this was ending of the friendships with other people, because I did have a few Muslim friends. Well, they're still my friend. I'd consider them. I don't know about them though. Um, and it's yeah, it's so weird. It's such a weird. I never thought this would happen. I never thought of even reading a Quran or reading a Bible or even having a pod. Like, none of this I would have thought to happen. Like, I didn't plan this. It's like this has happened. And so that happened. But I'm still bold. I'm still gonna continue to preach what I believe and preach what I've seen. Um, when I read other books, it's not. I'm not gonna just criticize Islam. It's gonna be other religions too, other ways of life that go against the one true God, Jesus Christ. So that's what I've had to sacrifice. And for me, the reason why the reason why I have spoken up against Islam now, it's because of what it's doing to our Christians. What people don't know, or who've not watched the news, or it's not even on the news because they don't talk about it. It's Nigerians, Syrians, Egyptians, Armenians are all being persecuted right now by Islam extremists, militants. All of them. Literally, I've just seen a message. Mozambique stolen children, 120 kids stolen by Islamic extremist groups. And I don't like to put Muslims all in one bucket. And if you watch my video, the Quran video, I said literally at the start of the video, I am separating the person from the book. Because from what I've learned and and interactions, a lot of Muslims don't read the Quran. I'm gonna be very honest with you. A lot of them don't. So what I like to do is separate the two. Because if you follow the Quran letter by letter, I'm sorry, but you're going to end up with an extremist. But a lot of Muslims are not, and I'm happy. I'm actually happy that's not the way it is. And so, for me, when I see my Christians, my church are dying, are being stolen by Islamic groups, I have to think to myself, okay, where is this all coming to? Where's the connection? What's the root of all this? And I read the Quran and I read the life of Muhammad, and it begins to make sense. It actually, I see the connection. I see why it's still carried on. Why? Because the Quran does allow violence to Jews, to Christians, because they're not Muslim. I'm not Muslim. And so we have to pay jizya tax in those Islamic countries. So we're second-class citizens, also known as dhimmi. So when I see that happening, I can't stay silent. I cannot stay silent. Hundreds and hundreds of years, Islamic oppression has been killing us at the church. It has. Because everyone likes to talk about the Crusades, right? Oh, Christians did the Crusades, they're evil. But before the Crusades began, Islam was already killing and invading the Christian lands: Syria, Palestine, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Spain, France, Sicily, Italy, France. All of those lands were Christian, all invaded by Islam, right? That's Islam at the start. That's all the early caliphates, right? And so the crusade was a response to free Christian brothers and sisters. It wasn't to kill Muslims or to convert them. It was to get our Christians free from the hand of Islam. That's what the crusades were about. It was to defend our brothers and sisters. That's the whole point of the crusade. I don't know about the later ones. I need to look more into them. But from what I know, the first crusade in 1095 by Pope Urban II was a response to free the Christian brothers and sisters. It wasn't to attack Muslims. The Muslims attacked us. They attacked our lands first. And when I see it still happening today, Egyptians can't even practice their faith on the streets. It hurts. You cannot tell me I can stay silent on this. There are Christians dying in Nigeria right now. And I have to figure out why on earth is Islam, why is a Nigerian Islam terrorist group killing the same as someone from Syria? I have to build a connection. We have to look to the roots. It goes deeper. And when I read the Quran, it tells me in 9:29, fight those who don't believe in Allah on the first day. It now makes sense. It begins to make sense. She says in the Quran, Allah loves those who fight for him. So when you build up the dots, it begins to make sense because they're learning from Muhammad himself, the early caliphates himself. It's built, it goes deeper. And this is something I hate talking about because I hate talking about this. I don't like talking about this. I hate this. In my world, I want everyone to be what they want to be. I hate this because it's just uncomfortable. I don't like these conversations because people just, we need to know, we need to read. Just read books, bro. Just read history. Literally a year ago, I knew nothing about my faith or Islam or any other faith or I knew nothing, but I've had to sit there and just study and take time, sacrifice my time and read. So, and it's come far because I know a lot more now. I've read the Quran now. I'm reading the Hadiths now, the Sunnahs, Muhammad's life. I'm happy that I can say I know I'm getting there. I don't know everything, but I'm getting there. So Christians are dying. We have to speak up. We have to stand up. There's the whole debate of, the word of crusades justified. I'm not saying it's justified or not. I'm just telling you the reason why it happened. But we're here to talk about the Christians who are suffering in Islamic countries, who are being killed, who can't practice their faith. Imagine if this was the other way around. Everybody knows about it. Everyone would know. But for some reason, when a Christian is killed or something, no one says a word. No one says a peep. And I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I have to raise up my voice. I'm just tired. And that has come to a sacrifice of losing friends I've grown up with because I've said stuff that they probably don't like. I don't like this information either. I wish I was a liar. I wish I was making this stuff up, but it's in their book. And I just want them to just open up and wake up. You need to leave this religion. Come to Jesus. This is not it. And there's a few verses I wanted to read because I'm going to start with John 13:6-8. This verse was just running in my mind after all the stuff that happened. And I'm actually going to read it. I have a Bible, but I have it on my laptop. So I'm going to get it on my Bible, the physical one, to act like it's being useful. And I'm sorry, but this information is probably uncomfortable for those who want to hear. So I do apologize. But at the same time, the truth, it was never meant to be comfortable. Jesus, when he calls himself the way, the truth, and the life, that's the average Jew. How are they meant to take that? It's uncomfortable for them because a Jew is claiming to be life itself when their whole life they've been told to worship God. He's not a man. And all of a sudden, God becomes a man. And you hear this guy calling himself the truth. So it's never been a comfortable thing. Jesus on the cross to remove our sin wasn't a comfortable thing, but it had to happen for redemption. So when I talk about this, it's in love. Like, my biggest motivation is love. I can't attack a religion for no reason. I can't criticize a religion for no reason. I'm doing this because I know this is not right. It's not. We need to come to Jesus. I'm telling you, I'm going to read the verse now because it will make more sense. It's John 13:6-8. When Jesus came to Simon Peter, Peter said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You do not understand now what I'm doing, but someday you will." Jesus is washing people's feet. They don't understand it, but Jesus says we will understand it. You may not understand what I'm doing now, but later you will understand. I'm not saying Muslims become Christians straight away after one video. Of course not. This is a culture. This is your identity. It's who you are. And a black guy a black young kid comes out of nowhere saying it's false and all this. You need to, you really need to examine what he says, read the evidence, You can't just go off what I say. I don't want you to. I want you to go back to the evidence. Read the Quran, read the Bible, look at our world, and make the thought for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you have a smart mind. A lot of my friends that I had, a lot of them were Muslim. They're smart. These are smart guys. They're off to uni. They're graduating. I'm so happy for them. A lot of them, they are Muslim. Honestly, they generally are. And you have that mind, you have that intellect the Lord made for you. Use it. The Quran says it literally says it's an easy explanation. So you can just read as it is. Yes, you can get your scholars, get your Arabic, but just read it for yourself. I've read it for myself. It's very clear that the Quran doesn't like a Christian. It doesn't like Jews. It doesn't like me. It's very violent towards us. And when I see what's happening today, it begins to make sense. But hey, that's your decision to make. So a lot of people might not understand what I'm doing. And I'm not only getting criticism from Muslims. It's not just them. I'm getting them from non-Christians also. Non-Muslims, non-religious people are also been criticizing me. But what you got to understand is when Jesus came into this world, he came to flip the societal norms. He came to not agree and sugarcoat the truth. He didn't agree with the Pharisees. He told the truth as it is. They're vipers. They're hypocrites. They're not real Jews. He told the truth as it is. And I'm here to also do that. I'm here to tell you the truth as it is. Muhammad's a false prophet. He lied. He changed history. He heard stories from Christians and Jews and flipped it to fit his own religion, to make his own religion. And that's a truth you don't want to hear. That's fine. I'm always here to talk about it. I'm always here. I'm always here. You can message me. We can happily talk. When I see people attacking my faith, I love it. Because now I can debunk them. I can now use the Bible for what it says. I can now speak in love. I'm always here. My hands are always open. I'll never deny you guys. You may deny me, that's fine, but Jesus never did. And so we are called, and this is what Ephesians 5:11 says, take no part in unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. We are called to expose. We are called to know the truth for ourselves. I can't expose something I don't know, guys. So, for Christians out there, read the Quran. Read the Quran. Read the Bible. Know the truth. Know the truth, guys. We got to be reading this. We have to be reading this. I have friends who are still stuck in Islam, who probably will never leave. Right? I got to know their truth. We got to read. We got to get to know each other. I got to know where they stand in all aspects of life, because we are called to expose in love and in reverence of God, not for our own benefit. This is no benefit if it's all for me. I do this for heaven. I do this for heaven. I do it because I want God to have more soldiers. I'd love God to save my friends. Oh my gosh. Not just Muslims. It's not just all about the Muslims. It's about everybody. Everybody to come to repentance. All of you. I love it. I'd absolutely love it. Or I'll have a party. I'll set everything up myself. But honestly, I'm down for coffees. I'm down for literally you could call me. I'm always there. I'm never going to turn anybody away. That's not who I am. I love these things. I love deep religious talk. It's who I am. It's what I do. But, you want to block me. You want to run away from me. Let's have that talk. Let's talk about Jesus. Let's talk about Muhammad. That's what I thrive on, man. That's what I thrive on. You can come on this podcast. You could debunk me, bro. Anyone can debunk me on this podcast. You can make me. I could become Muslim. For all I know, I could become a Muslim on the podcast. I wouldn't even cut it out. The chance is there. You can promote your faith. You can promote Islam, atheism, Hinduism. The seat is always here. You can imagine you can promote your religion on a Christian channel, and Nick could be convinced. Imagine that, and hundreds of people would watch that. That's your chance. I've given people free invitations. The chance is still here. It's not gonna go down. So if you're interested to join the pod, let me know. Please do. Let me know. The chance is always there, But again, when you know the truth, when you say it as it is, it's uncomfortable because you got to understand they're told one side of the story. They're not showing the whole coin. And when you bring up new information, they're like, "What? That's not true. Where's this come from? That's definitely no. That's a lie. That's a not authentic hadith." And all these things, you gotta have the whole picture. Have the whole picture. Don't pick and choose. Don't have one side. Know Islam for yourself. Know the whole truth for yourself. I'm not saying yes, they have charity, Ramadan, all that fasting stuff. That's good. I like the discipline of the worshipping the one God. The charity, zakat. That's fine. That's great. My problem is the bad outweighs the good. It's violent to other non-religious groups. Jesus was not violent to any Pharisee. He didn't attack them. He didn't attack the Jews that left him in John chapter 6. He gave them the truth and they ignored him. That's fine. Muhammad, when he went to the Jews and Christians to tell them about Islam, they rejected him because of course we are. But how does Muhammad react? He persecutes them. He expels them. He kills them. Who am I going to choose? Jesus, who had mercy. All the Jews walked away from him. They walked away from God himself. Or Muhammad, who instead could just walk away. Nothing could have happened. We should walk away. Let me just relax. But instead, he does the total opposite. He persecutes the Jews. He kills the Christians. And then now look. And then the early caliphates began. Abu Bakr, Umar, Rashidun, Umayyad. All those caliphates began. And all Christians and Jews have been persecuted for hundreds of years. Who am I going to pick as my example? Because Muhammad the Quran says he's a moral example for all mankind. But my Christ never picked up a sword, never cussed at nobody, exposed the darkness all the time, told the truth as it is, and Muhammad's the total opposite, respectively. So, I know who I'm going to pick. I know who I'm going to choose. And I'm going to read John 15:18, and it says, if the world hates you, I'm going to leave my Bible. I have a Bible here, man. I have a dang Bible. If the world hates you, remember that it hated me first. The world would love you as one of its own if you belong to it, but you are no longer part of the world. I choose you to become out of this world, so it hates you. When I was in the world, when I was before Jesus, the whole idea of coexisting religions, it was I believe in it very heavily. Very, very heavily. Not knowing your own faith, other people's faith, other cultures, doing what you want to do. But coming to Christ, it's like I love reading. I love studying. I don't know where it's come from because I never loved studying growing up. And now I've come to realize that Jesus didn't coexist. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Not through Buddha, not through Muhammad. He didn't say all those options were there. He said, me. Me. He excluded everybody and says, I am the only way to heaven. The idea of coexisting religions, it doesn't work. And I can respect you, your free will. If you want to be a Hindu, Muslim, go ahead. You can do that. But I would never respect your doctrines, your teachings, because your teachings contradict the one true teaching of Christ. So, yeah, I respect you as a human. I love you as a human. But we're obviously going to disagree on certain things, aren't we? And I can't sugarcoat that to keep you as a friend or to, no. When my church is dying, I have every right to speak about it, to expose those who are doing it, to call them out, to get help for them. I have every right. I have every right. When I see everyone talking about Gaza and Palestine, they're exposing whoever's behind who. We Christians have to expose who's behind these attacks on our churches, behind the little kids in Mozambique, right? We have every right to call it out. We need to speak up. And it's uncomfortable because the culprits in Nigeria, in Syria, in Egypt, they all have one thing in common. And we all know what the answer is. It's the Quran. Everything they get is from the Quran. It's all in the Quran. And not all Muslims are the same. They're not. I'm not putting them all in one book. Notice how I've criticized your book more than the person. Have you realized that? I hope when you watch this video, I want you to see I have criticized the Quran more than the person, because I love every person. I love every human being. I want Muslims to know that we have the Injil. A lot of them say we don't have the Injil. It's been corrupted. But history says it hasn't. We've got manuscripts. We have the gospel today. And I want you to know it for yourself. I do videos like this for a purpose, that all may know Christ. All of you may know Christ. I don't do this for entertainment. I don't do this for views, bro. I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be exposing and talking like these really. I don't like it. I hate it. I've pretty much lost everybody. I've lost everybody. It sucks. Being a Christian sucks sometimes. Like, carrying your cross sucks. But it's all worth it because you realize Christ did it first. God loved us first. We do the same in return. Love is not always going to be a straight, easy road. There's going to be potholes and bumps along the way. But we stay in the car. Despite all the earthquakes and tsunamis that may attack our life, our foundation is firm and we stay driving with Christ. That's what I said, we may not understand now, but we will eventually. Peter didn't understand why Christ is washing the feet. But now he understands. And that's why he died for the faith. Because he understood, okay, I get it. Because God loves us. Because he paid the fine on the cross. That's the whole point of Jesus saying, you won't understand it now, but later. You won't understand what I'm doing now. It may sound like it may look like I'm an Islamophobic or I hate Muslims. That's what it may look like, but it's not. I love you Muslims. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for that. I want you to remember my main motivation for this is love. I do it because you've been told lies. Jesus didn't die on the cross. The Bible is corrupt. It's always the same thing. When one search away, it's not true. Christ died for you. 6 hours on that cross. Dehydrated. Don't let them lie. Don't let Muhammad say these things. He's lying to you. He's lying. He's straight out his. I'm saying it as it is because you're not going to hear it from them. You need to hear it from someone outside who's read it as it is. Read the Quran for yourself. Look at the history for Christ and see if he was a Muslim or not. Because people say he was a Muslim. Okay, read the earliest manuscripts of Christ and see if he was a Muslim. Then you can get back to me. And then you can ask yourself, is the Islam view of Jesus really true? Is he really just a prophet? Or is he the son of God? Because in Islam, you can't call yourself a son of God or daughter of God. Allah doesn't have children. So you need to look at the evidence of history for yourself. Don't go off these dawah, the sheikhs. Read the history for yourself. You have an intellectual mind. Use it. Question. You have every right to question. I've questioned Christianity before. No one has condemned me for it. Question. Ask questions. You're smart people. You are. You generally are. Some of the smartest guys I've met are Muslim. Ask questions. There's no problem with asking questions. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong at all. Jesus knew when he rose from the dead, people were going to say it didn't happen. He knew people were going to doubt. And when Thomas doubted right in front of his face, did Jesus kill him? Did he criticize him? He just, no. Put your fingers through my hands. I'm here. You can touch me. Jesus was assuring him, giving him comfort, giving him evidence. And that's what we're doing. We're giving you evidence. We're giving you assurance to read evidence for yourself. You can doubt. It's a human thing to doubt. If a human being rose from the dead, I have every right to doubt because that's never been done before. But only God can rise from the dead. Only God can control death. And who do you think is Jesus by doing that? God himself again. So read the evidence. We can't be ignorant. Muslims, don't be ignorant of your book. Read it. Read the Sunnah. Read the sayings and deeds of Muhammad. Read it for yourself and come to that conclusion. Because there's been times where I bring up a verse and they just don't know it. No, Nick, you're lying. That doesn't say that. And I showed them that. And then they have no answer. Because you just need to read it. Just read the Quran. Take that time. Go read it for yourself. I'm not attacking you. I'm attacking your book. Big difference. Quran, human being. Quran, Muslim. I'm not attacking you, Muslim. I'm attacking your book because your book attacked me. And I have every right to speak about the Quran. The Quran talks about Jesus. The Quran tells people to fight the Jews and Christians and many other things I don't want to get into. So that's why I'm doing this video, is to bring awareness to you. It's to bring awareness. I know I'm going to get hatred. I know I'm going to say I'm taking verses out of context. But we both know that's not true. We both know. And, it also, this situation also reminds me of Jeremiah 11, 21. And it says, therefore, this is what the Lord says about the people of Anathoth, who are threatening to kill you. So they're threatening to kill Jeremiah, saying, do not prophesy in the name of the Lord, or you will die by our hands. We're going to be hated, cursed. The truth hurts. The truth hurt me when I realized Nick is a sinner. Nick is a bad person. You think that hurt me? I don't want to hear that rubbish. I used to scream at the Bible street preachers back in the day. Nick, how'd you get saved? Oh, Nick, you have to read the Bible. No. They would literally say no. Like, the Bible's not enough. And I'd be like, what are you on about? What are you on about? You think that didn't suck? You think I liked hearing that? But it had to be done. Truth doesn't fit in our comfort zone. Truth doesn't agree with our comfort zone. Truth convicts. Truth gets to the soul where you don't want it to reach. We like to hide our souls from the truth. And we like to, act like, we not act, but we're like, we don't want to learn. You don't want to learn. And then you start, what's the word? Compromising. Yeah, you compromise. You don't want the truth. You want the whole... And I had to accept the whole thing. There was one point where I'm like, yeah, Jesus, you want me. He touched my head in church. I couldn't say no to that. If I said no to that, then I don't know. There was a point where I had to stop running. I had to accept. And that is what I'm telling not just Muslims, but anybody. Stop running. What's there to run from? Seriously. Just read. Read the Bible, read the Vedas, read anything, read all religious scriptures, read them all, and come to a conclusion. Read the evidence of Jesus. It's astounding. It's astounding. It's too much. It's too much. And make that decision for yourself. You have a mind. You have smart minds. Use it. Don't run away from yourself. Don't run away from your mind. Use your mind. Use it. I may be sorry if I was speaking a bit aggressive. It's just I just care. I just love humans. I love humanity. I love humanity. And, it's when I see a religion that rejects Jesus' deity, that rejects Jesus' crucifixion, and changes him, and people believe that, how do I have not a right to speak about it? This is Jesus Christ, the most famous human in history. One of us is gonna get him right. But you cannot reject history. That's the only argument I'm trying to make. That you can't. You can't say no to history. I know your Quran says one thing, and that came in the 7th century. We need to remember that. 20 years after Muhammad died, the Quran came. So, if all of history is saying Jesus Christ was crucified, come on. It's there. It's there to be seen. And then they'll say, "Oh, but it was made to look like it. Jesus, it wasn't actually Jesus, but it looks like Jesus." So, did God deceive you guys? He tricked all of the disciples to preach a false message about Christianity, and then Christianity became the biggest religion in the world over Islam, all because of Allah's deceivement. So, Christianity is because of Allah, because Allah deceived the disciples, because the disciples died for a message they thought that was true. Is that why Christianity is a thing? Because Allah deceived the people at the time. It doesn't make sense. The crucifixion, saying no to the crucifixion makes no sense. I'm sorry. As a historian, atheist historians, I'm like, it's too much to count. It's too much to count. And like I said, I have a chair waiting. I have guests. I want many, hundreds of Muslims. I want every Muslim in the world to just talk to. I love you guys, honestly. I just want to talk. But you running away from me, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. You're not even defending your faith. You can defend your faith on this channel, and I could actually be convinced if, I want someone to show me where Jesus was not crucified outside the Quran. I'm waiting. Let's do it. I'm here. Let's talk. I'm waiting because it's generally serious. This is a big fact you're rejecting, guys. Your Quran says Jesus was not crucified. That is everything to us. I have a cross for a reason. But if the Quran is true, then Christianity is from Allah's deceivement. The disciples preached the message and were killed for a lie, because it was made to look like so. How is that right? It's either Christianity is true, Jesus died on the cross, or Jesus didn't die on the cross and Allah is now immoral for deceiving all of humanity and myself. So I'm always here. Talk to me, message me. I have my Instagram, Linktree, check it all out. I want to be talking more about faith and Islam. I love you guys, but your book, I don't love. I'm being straight and being bold like that because it doesn't love me. I've said it like 18 times. But that's why I wanted to talk about this last week. Even under the Quran video, I was being attacked. "Oh, Nick, you're a liar. Nick, out of context. Nick, you're a god eater. Nick, you're a pagan." You see, imagine if I did those things, everyone would know about it and everyone would call me a fake Christian. But when a Muslim does it, no one says anything. But that's not the point. The truth's gonna hurt. The truth hurt me when I was told that I cannot read the Bible and be saved. I had to accept. At some point, you have to look at the truth for what it is. You're gonna have to. You can't keep running. I ran, and I had to submit to Christ. How long are you gonna run for? Ask those uncomfortable questions. You're gonna have to ask them at some point. You have to. I don't know when that'll be, but Jesus says later you will understand. So the last week, it's kind of been difficult for me, losing friends, just preaching something you don't want to preach, like the uncomfortable truth. And people are going to be upset by this. People will definitely be upset by this podcast. I know for sure. But I'm at the point now where the truth does what it does to you. I'm just a messenger now. When I see Christians dying, I'm bold. I feel like I'm also being attacked. I feel more bold in my faith now more than ever. Because if you're not gonna speak it, Eddie, someone I will. I will have to. And if I have to be lonely, if everyone leaves me because I just want to talk about, if I want to spread awareness of people being stolen in Africa, if Christians are dying by Islam extremists, and me calling out is wrong, so be it. I'll die on that hill for Jesus any day. Jesus. This is hard. Like this is so difficult. It's not I that lives, but Christ that lives to be loved. I honestly wonder how Jesus did this, because he watched hundreds and hundreds of disciples walk away from him and was left with 12, right? And also there might have been a few others. I've lost like 3 or 4 maybe, and it feels like I've lost everything. But the truth still stands. Islam rejects history. And you may not like that, but you need to look into it. Pray for the persecuted Christians. Go to Open Doors website, link in the description. Go to it. I really suggest you have a read. Pray, send money if you can. I don't have a lot of money, so I'm going to try my best. But get them, they're smuggling Bibles in. They're bringing Bibles in. This is the work of Christ. Being bold. The law has said no Bibles, they're banned, they're forbidden, and they're smuggling Bibles in. That video in China, I'll put it on the screen, where they open the box and they're crying. They have the word of God in their hands. How badly do you have to hate Jesus to reject a book? 52 countries have banned the Bible, bro. How badly do you hate Jesus? It's absolutely insane. Absolutely ridiculous. It's an absolute disgrace. But that's what sin does. That's what the flesh does. It wants you to block the truth. And we just do it by ourselves. We choose to do that. So, this has been personal. This has been really hard to do today. I do apologize if I speak quite aggressively. To be fair, my friend did kind of call me out on that. Oh, Nick, you have a monotone voice. You speak quite. And hearing myself now, I do. So, will I be taken out of context? Probably. Probably will now, because of how I speak and what I say. And it's because of Islam. And not a lot of people talk about it, because no one wants to be seen as an Islamophobic or doesn't want to get cancelled. But it's not Islamophobia. It really isn't. It's just, I hate people to die. I don't like to see people getting killed. I don't. Why? I hate that. I hate it. I don't want to see my Christians die. Why? Like, why do I want to see that? But it has to be done. People have to know about these ridiculous acts. They have to know. And yes, Christians have killed in the past, but did Jesus teach that? No, he didn't. On the other hand, did Muhammad teach? Has Muslims killed in the past? Yes. Does the Quran teach that? Yes. And that is the difference between Christianity and Islam, right there. That's the difference. You could sum up the two religions in that one. But like I said, I'm taking the Quran and the human being of a Muslim, I'm separating. So don't never hate Muslims. I'll never hate you guys, because why would I? You're made in the image of God. You're smart people. But don't compromise your smartness for the Quran. Don't compromise. Don't all of a sudden start defending stuff you know is wrong. Deep down, I've seen so many Muslims trying to defend the child marriage and all that stuff. And it's like, it's wrong, but you can't. You don't want to be seen as an apostate, or you start leaving, because, doubting in Islam is like seen as satanic and stuff. I've never sat there and said, Jesus, you're morally wrong for something. But when I read the Quran, I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna end it like that. I'm gonna stop talking before I get in trouble. I think I'm already in trouble anyway. Well, I've lost people already, so. But they've heard the truth now. And now, what I love about this, they can actually test what I'm saying. They can all read the Quran now for themselves. If Nick really is like, okay, let's read the evidence. Let's go to Surah 9, let's go to Surah 5, Surah 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You can now examine what I'm saying, which means you're reading it for yourself now. So, yes, amen. I might have to keep talking about this, Islam, because you will eventually be able to read your own Quran. And now we're both on the same boat. I'm not saying every Muslim hasn't read the Quran, but the single majority hasn't. And that is a bit worrying. Read the Quran, know it for yourself. Read the Bible, know it for yourself. Thank you guys for watching this. Oh, this was deep. This was deep, man. I'm gonna have to cut a few things off. This was deep. But always remember, there is an invite. If you're a Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, atheist, there's a seat always here to join, to talk to me. You could literally debunk me. I could be seen as the worst Christian, worst lie ever. Like, you have your chance. You can come on the pod. I'm always here. So, yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I pray that this video may help you. I pray that my learning of the Quran may also want you to learn the Quran for yourself, to read the story of Muhammad for yourself. May we not be ignorant of what is happening in our world, in the Christian world. That's been happening for 1,400 years. We've been being persecuted by Islamic groups since the birth of Islam. So we cannot be ignorant of that. We have to call it out as it is, as uncomfortable as it is. We show the evidence. We show the proof. We don't speak on an empty mouth, on an empty cup. We bring the proof and let them read the proof. Let us read the proof. Let us not be ignorant of each other. Read my Bible. I'll read your Quran. Let's do it. Let's have that coffee talk. Let's have this podcast. I'm here. But it's up to you, innit? I love you always. God bless you guys.